Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today I'm going to show you how to make one of Dr. Greger's recipes, unfried rice, but we're going to Jill it up.
Grab a plate, 'cause it's the all-free whole food plant-based cooking show.
Okay, first I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Dr. Greger. If you don't know him already, you probably do. He is the author of How Not To Die, and he is also the creator of nutritionfacts.org, where it's a great reference if you have any questions about being vegan or plant-based. You can go in there and type it in and type in a question or anything you're curious about. Like if you're curious about what are dates good for, just type in dates and it'll give you any kind of information or research that he's done. And what's cool about Dr. Greger is that he donates all of his proceeds from his books, from his cookbook, from his seminars, from the website, all to charity. So this is an amazing, amazing reference and such great work. I highly recommend looking into it. I highly recommend this book. This is a fantastic read. It looks a little daunting, but he has to reference a lot of his research in the back, so a huge portion of this is just citing his references. So it's not as daunting as it looks. He also has the How Not To Die Cookbook, which is also really great. And today's recipe is, where is it? It is right here. But we're gonna change it just a teeny bit. His team of people allowed me to tweak it just a little bit for our show, and I was more than happy to do that. What you can also check out is he has the Daily Dozen app for your phone. And that is a resource for you to keep track of if you're really struggling with how to get in all of these different nutrients and fruits and vegetables into your diet on a daily basis. You can track it in this app, and it'll show you the exact measurements. It'll show you what things are good for. So you can it's like a food journal in a sense. So you end up using it for a while and then you get really used to it and figure out that you're getting all your stuff in there. But it's a great resource. It's also free. So we're just gonna get started. I've got my burner preheating here, but the first thing we need to do is make the umami sauce, because the umami sauce is something that you add as a part of the flavor, but you don't use the whole amount, so you have to make this little concoction up first, and then you can save the rest in the freezer. It freezes great, or in your refrigerator if you're gonna make this again really soon. So we're just gonna start with that. So all of the ingredients and the measurements will be in a link in the details below. But we've got some tomato paste. We've got 2 pitted dates, 2 cloves of garlic, and about a teaspoon of ginger. And I'm just gonna use this in my NutriBullet, because when you have smaller stuff to blend, it's nice to use a little bit smaller blender, because the bigger blenders have a little bit of a problem doing this small of an amount. So what else do we have here? Let's go with the dates, tomatoes. So we have a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Oops. I'm just gonna sprinkle it in there roughly. That's about half a teaspoon. A tablespoon of white wine vinegar. Tablespoon of tahini. And this is just tahini from Trader Joe's. I like to buy their tahini because there's nothing added to it. It is just ground sesame seeds, no added oil, no salt. It's wonderful. And it's really affordable compared to some of the stuff you get at the grocery store. It can get a little bit pricey, but this stuff, I think it's maybe $4 for this container. Not too bad. I'm just gonna keep that. And then what I have here, he recommends, instead of just using lemon juice, you peel the lemon or just cut off most of the skin and then blend the entire lemon, because a lot of the nutrients are in that pulp and in the little, sinewy white stuff that's in there. That's where a lot of the nutrients are. So you want to keep that. So this is one blended lemon. And I make up a big batch and I pour it in ice cube trays so that I have them on hand and I can just throw an ice cube in there. It's really simple. So then I don't have to peel and, do all of that blending just for one lemon. And this is 1 cup of low sodium vegetable broth. Okay, we're just gonna blend this up. Okay, there we go. Oops. If you can see that, really nice. Oh, it smells amazing. Okay, so we're gonna blend a little bit of that sauce, the umami sauce, with some of the ingredients for the rice. And what that is, we'll use this cup again, is another 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar. A tablespoon of tahini. And then 2 tablespoons of the umami sauce. We're just gonna give it a little bit more in there. Okay. We're just gonna mix this up, stir it up a little bit. And then we're gonna set it aside. Okay, now on to the main part of the recipe. So we already have our pan heated and I have 1/4 cup of water because we're gonna water saute. When you're doing whole food plant-based, there is absolutely no need for using oil to saute your vegetables. Water works just as good. You might have to babysit it just a little bit more so it doesn't stick to the pan, but big deal. Okay, so what we have here is 1 red onion, a carrot, and I've diced them up pretty small. You don't want big chunks of carrot in there. 2 cloves of garlic, and another about a teaspoon and a half of ginger. But those ingredients, the exact measurements will be in the link in the details below. So we are just gonna saute this for about 5 minutes before we add our other ingredients. Okay, it's been the 5 minutes. Now we're gonna add some of our other ingredients. We've got 2 cups of broccoli, which is roughly 1 head of broccoli, 1 cup of mushrooms, and his recipe calls for peas. It doesn't call for the mushrooms. I just changed, that out because we're not huge fans of peas, but we love mushrooms, and I figured that would be a good addition. And then a little bit of tofu. So I just cubed it up really small like this. Sometimes you can get them in the packages already cubed like this. And I baked it on 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes just to dry it out because we like it to be kind of chewy. I'm just gonna add that in there. And it's a half of a package. So we are just gonna saute this for another 5 minutes before we add the last of the ingredients. All right, 5 more minutes. Okay, now we're gonna add the remaining ingredients. And I have just a tip for you. We really love wild rice. The recipe calls for either black or red rice, which is just fine. We just happen to like wild rice. It's really our favorite, and Trader Joe's sells these 1-pound bags that are really affordable. So we had a meal with the wild rice last night, and I just kept the leftovers, which happens to be exactly the amount that I need. It's about 3 cups of rice. And then we'll put in our umami sauce. Pour that in there. And if you haven't already noticed, I'm wearing the nutritionfacts.org t-shirt, which I just love, because it has all of these wonderful, a list of wonderful plant-based foods. I'm gonna pour that sauce in there. Get that stirred up. So this, you wanna just, just stir it up and cook it for just a few more minutes, just really until it's lightly coated with all of this delicious sauce. Okay, there it is. Now for the taste. My favorite part. Mushroom there. So delicious. It's light and fresh and full of nutrition. You're gonna love it. And I'll see you next time.